Do you interpret that to be a hallucination, or do you interpret it to be something that's a valid view of reality?
The way I see it is similar to ketamine in the fact that it's shutting down your conscious brain so that your subconscious can finally come out and speak to you and really tell you the truth behind many aspects of your life. Mm-hmm. And so the conscious tries to protect itself. It tries to protect your identity. It tries to protect your ego. Mm-hmm. It tries to make sense of the world. Well, this happened to me when I was young, so now I'm this way, or I had that experience, so now this. And it's very logic-based reasoning. And it is designed to formulate a story around who you are and what you've experienced and why, to allow you to operate in the society we have today. Mm-hmm. MDMA, in a very loving way, pulls that away and allows you to see and experience the truth of what is really there. Mm. And that was the most profound experience of my life, to see what had happened to me as a child, being bullied in a very big way, going through being defrauded in business, going through a divorce, going through all kinds of life's challenges, and being able to look at them not from the perspective of a victim, but for, these happened and that's totally okay, and here's how you benefited from those experiences, or here's how you can let those go and move on from them. And probably the single biggest takeaway for me with MDMA is that my life until around the age of 40 was primarily driven by things that happened to me in middle school and high school. And I would still have thoughts around that stuff and anguish, even 20, 25 years later.
Was that surprising to you? And did you have any inkling that those things were, kind of driving you and subconsciously? Or?
Oh, it was a very conscious driver. It was very, I think a lot of entrepreneurs specifically are driven by, I don't know any entrepreneurs who had a healthy upbringing.
Yeah.
Because the amount of drive that it takes to build an empire, or build a business, or achieve the highest levels of success, there has to be a driver behind that. Mm-hmm. And pain is the most effective driver in life. If you're experiencing a pleasurable childhood, that driver is usually not there to push you to go through the trials and tribulations you'd have to become a top performer in the world. So, so they were very. I used them as fuel to further my career, and it's really interesting. I had a fear that if I ever extinguished those drivers, would I still have the drive to achieve and accomplish the way that I normally have? And so I was very well aware of them. I didn't expect MDMA to address any of that, but 5 hours later, I'd gone through all of it and reframed every single one of those experiences and just came out of that a completely different person.
What changed subsequent?
Empathy. Empathy is the number one piece that I took out of that. Empathy for the people who harmed me when I was young, and also empathy for myself. And what I didn't realize is that a part of healing is not only forgiving the people who've harmed you, but forgiving yourself. And I think a lot of people who are, again, achievers in the world are very, very hard on themselves. I know I certainly was. And the very idea of forgiving yourself had never even occurred to me. And so having that epiphany was just game-changing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it change your relationships with the people in your life?
Yep. Yeah. Changed it with friendships. I'd always kept people at a distance. There was a lot of betrayal that went on in my childhood. So we can be friends, and it's only going to get to a point. So that kind of got resolved and dissolved, and so I got to really connect with people at a much deeper level, and with myself as well.